Stop forcing it down our throats. You know, even Tucker Carlson, who is like the most outspoken and fearless commentator, I don't hear him talking about this issue very much. I don't. Rush Limbaugh, where is he? Glenn Beck, where is he? Why are we not talking about this? Why are we not pointing out that this is a lie? That's militantly opposed to everything our country is founded on. Laws of nature, nature's God, clear principles in our Constitution. Why are we not talking about this? There are a growing community of people who are no longer gay. They testified in Sacramento against AB 2943. They exist. And even as the senators, state senators lie, well, reparative therapy doesn't work. Yes, it does. You have 500 people tell you that. They are so desperate to just lie because they know they're losing this. Just as Ronald Reagan had said, we will consign communism to the ashes of history. Communism is based on lies. People were not afraid to say so. Ronald Reagan was not afraid to say so. What's the problem here? Mom, dad, family, marriage, life, sexuality. These are things we should be fighting for with just as much vigor. Really quick, I have what, 2 minutes?
No.
5 minutes? Oh, we're in the question period?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay. We saw a massive failure happen in the House of Representatives 2-3 days ago. The Equality Act, which guts the Civil Rights Act. It passed the House. Even the most pro-life Democrat was caved in and voted for this provision. The corporate money is behind LGBT. The Chamber of Commerce has lost all of its power. Thank you, Trump. A populist economic agenda has worked for us. What was really shocking, the Republicans refused to fight the core issues. They only wanted to talk about how women's sports would be eviscerated and religious liberty would be taken away. Those issues matter. But here's the thing, if you get hit with this bully club of discrimination, there's nothing to fight against that. It's been so ingrained in our public consciousness now. We must not discriminate. The Republicans needed to go right to square one and say it to Congressman Cicilline's face, the openly gay congressman who authored that trash. Say, you weren't born that way, Congressman. And it's not an immutable characteristic. You can be gay, you can be straight. These are not static behaviors. We should not be treating this as a civil right. Someone needed to say, how dare you steal the civil right that black Americans fought for? That kind of a forceful counterweight did not happen. The Republicans have believed this is a hill we cannot and should not die on. My answer is, if you don't fight it, this party will die. Because it was founded on preserving the family.
Yep.
Let's do a sharp contrast. So we've seen the fight for pro-family issues not having a militant counterforce. But there is a movement, a cultural conservative movement, that is not only maintained, but has gotten stronger and now is militant. Can you guess which movement that is? Hint, Alabama.
Abortion.
Exactly, the pro-life movement. Look how militant they are. Oh, look at it. I know friends of mine who went to jail standing in front of abortion clinics. They were not afraid to do it. They have become so powerful that they scared off an assemblyman in Pennsylvania who harassed an elderly woman. They fought back. And it's that kind of militancy that needs to happen for this pro-family movement. And there was a time, most people don't know this, Gerald Ford and Richard Nixon were pro-choice. In fact, Republicans didn't have a pro-life plank until Reagan, but more importantly, the Christian Coalition stepped in. Now the good news is we have a similar coalition has stepped in to affirm natural marriage, reparative therapy, and the rest. But we have to have the same kind of militancy. The pro-life movement was not afraid to speak the stark truth. This is what an abortion is. A dead baby butchered with blood everywhere. Horrific. That's the same kind of militancy we have to have. That's the same kind of militancy that Bill Lapcott has. He shows men who are perverted with sexual disease. Not afraid to do it. He shows the mouth scars that come from sexual diseases being transmitted by perverse interactions. They're not going into detail. Christians don't want to do that. They want to be loving, tolerant. But again, it's not loving or tolerant to look the other way at behaviors that are destructive. That's the kind of thing we need to see. So with that, with the little time I have remaining, I'm more than happy to take any questions. We definitely want you to join this fight, stop running away from it, and we need to push back at our party leaders as well as our country. Because I have to add this, Donald Trump is probably one of the most pro-choice people on record. He had tweeted as early as 2013, abortion, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. But now look at him. He is the most pro-life president on record. This didn't happen just because he had a heart change. It happened because of a militant pro-life movement that wasn't going to take no for an answer. All right, I promise. Any questions, really quick?
Yeah. Do you have any numbers about the gay community, say, even regionally?
About, like, how many there are?
For example, it used to be said, like, less than 5 years ago, that the black African-American population in America was about 12%.
Okay.
So we've been listening to nothing but their issues for the past how long, right? Even though they're this small, I think it's a little higher than that now. So do you know anything about gay population?
And that's a slip word question, because really that treats the idea as like it's a static identity. It's not. But
Well,
people
right,
are like
it's
actively
not-
engaging in it, maybe
people
1 to
don't
2%.
admit, or
It's like 1 to 2%, but it just shows how powerful a militant minority is. This goes back to Sam Adams' statement. You know, a small minority that inflames the imaginations of men, you know, can do great things. So about 1 to 2%. Look how we're being bullied by this little group. Yes, Daryl. No,
Okay.
James.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something really quick about the gay perversion and everything that's going on in America. America needs to stop supporting LGBTQ and support people with real issues, real needs, real illnesses.
You know, I totally agree with you.
I'm tired of it. It makes me sick. My girlfriend has epilepsy.
We really gotta cut it short. Do you have a question too?
No.
So I want to respond really quick. That is actually a great way. Why are we carrying a? Really, this is an elitist agenda. It's a globalist agenda.
Makes me sick.
I don't have time to go into that. Yes, James.
It's okay.
There's public education thing in this brainwashing.
Oh, that's an excellent question. I didn't touch on that enough because I have found that we see a growing militancy from parents. I mean, May 17th, a lot of parents walked out of their classes and took their kids with them. My answer would be they should take their kids out until the end of the year. My God, they probably learn more at a job than in education now. But absolutely, we have seen with the California Healthy Youth Act, there's a couple other bills, AB 493, that would force teachers to be trained to deal with LGBT kids. It's just shocking. And that's part of what makes the numbers grow as far as the population is concerned. How much time do we have? 1 minute and 30? Okay. Any other questions? If you signed already, that's great. I want to make sure that I bring you in. Yes, Claude.
Arthur, if you send me the link to the book from MassResistance, I'll be glad to post it to everybody I know.
I certainly will.
Yeah.
This book is comprehensive. It's based on the statistics from the Center of Disease Control. This isn't Breitbart. This isn't Town Hall. This isn't Drudge. So these are facts that help you to be armed to fight this thing. Just like with abortion, it is alive. It's not a collection of cells. People didn't know that until the 1980s, and even now it's becoming very clear that that's why even millennials are probably the most pro-life generation we've had. Absolutely. I mean, remember, Ronald Reagan was pro-choice, but then he was pro-life. That kind of militancy is what we need to see in this fight for family, in this fight against this LGBT. It's a total lie. It's based on fraud. The only way that they've been able to perpetuate their agenda is through force, through tyranny, through intimidation. That's all they have because they have no facts. We have to be able to stand against this. And honestly, we have to start with our own conservative groups and with even the state parties. It's just shocking to me. I mean, worst kept secret, Massachusetts, MassResistance was on the cutting edge of exposing this. Mitt Romney, as governor of Massachusetts, was actually working behind the scenes to make gay marriage a reality. And we know that the bill passed out of the House. People are pretty confident about the Senate. But something you do need to know. We had Orrin Hatch, a stalwart conservative. This guy was paying lip service to the poor LGBT youth. He's like, we bought into this. The Mormon Church declared that they wouldn't oppose a bill banning reparative therapy in Utah. Utah is a red state, and they were this close to banning reparative therapy there. Wow. I'm not talking about a blue state, I'm talking about a red state. So this is how crazy it's infiltrated into certain state parties, in the Republican Party. So we really have to understand that this is a militancy. We have to start pushing back on this. I don't want to put it, I have a couple of points I've made. I'll wrap it up with this, and the video will be there. The other things we have to start being able to say to people on this. These are some of the arguments I have gotten defending this. I forced this discussion. Number one, I hear this from the left all the time. Well, animals do it. It's true.
Oh, I've heard that
Animals
too.
can engage in this conduct.
Oh, my
But there's a basic answer. Do we really want human beings behaving like animals?
No?
Like praying mantises. I like my head, ladies. No, you can't have it. I mean, think, this is insanity, but this is what they say. You're infringing on my liberty. I should have the freedom to marry the man I love.
Gross.
Think of Justice Scalia. Marriage is not about liberty. It's a constraint on it. Ask any hippie. That was in his opinion on Obergefell. Well, there are plenty of homosexuals who live long lives. You get that a lot. That's an exception, not a rule. Sure, there are a couple of people who smoke 3 packs a day and live to be 88, but the vast majority end up having throat cancer, stomach cancer, their lives are shortened. That's a fraud. This gay marriage thing, it doesn't affect you. Actually, it does. It undermines the laws of nature. It's an affront to our culture, and the consequences cannot be mitigated. I can't believe you. Last of all, this is the thing we've gotten lately, because we've stood our ground correctly on these other issues. We get this question to try to shame us. So you want to make LGBT a crime? You want to lock the homosexuals up again? This is what we've said. It should be treated like smoking. It's deviant.
Yeah.
It's destructive. It should be discouraged. And it's explicitly limited. That's how it needs to be. We don't have smoking pride parades, do we?
No.
I mean, why are we celebrating something that's so destructive? And that's the attitude we have to have.
How come we don't have
You know,
anti-LGBT acts?
and I can share this too. This has been a point of, we see these left-wing movements are pretty much eating their own. In Edmonton, in Calgary, Alberta, they canceled the gay pride parade because they couldn't agree whether to have the police there or not, because they want to speak against any form of authority. They canceled it. We have seen the Toronto Gay Pride Parade. It's losing money fast. The Premier of Ontario will not march in it. They're collapsing. The oldest gay club in Long Beach just announced it was closing as well. There is a growing awareness that this lifestyle and the culture attached to it is something people don't want to be attached to.
Even,
We have to, go ahead. No, go ahead.
this is semi-good news, even the quote unquote.
I just need to quiet. I want to be able to hear us.
Mainstream LGBT, ABC, whatever, are upset, like with Marina Navratilova, whatever it is. Anyway, she's a gay athlete. She's very upset over the trans. She says they're very militant, and, biological men should not be in the women's games and whatever.
Yeah.
So a number of them are upset at one of their little sub-whatevers, which are basically a small portion and taking over their movement.
Yeah.
So they're eating their own, and that's excellent.
Yeah, and we have to foment that, but they can eat their own, but we want to make sure that we reestablish ours. It's essential to do that. So I know I've overdone it, but I appreciate you giving me a little leeway. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I can go all day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Arthur. Next month is Gay Pride Month.
Are you excited?
Should we
They're having
participate?
a
It's summertime.
Gay Pride event at the USS Iowa. Which is strange to me. But, so I don't know what that will be, what that entails. But USS Iowa wants as many people as possible to show up for their tourism, and that's the purpose why they do that. And so that's rather interesting that that's happening like that. I've never
So
heard.
if you're not gay, you're not invited?
No, you are. Everybody's invited.
I don't know. Do you feel, does that feel inclusive? I don't feel comfortable being around somebody who might want to hit on me. You know, I just,
I have free copies.
not that I'm that good looking, but, oh God.
Something now.
Sorry for interrupting.
I have free copies here of the last convention that was up in Sacramento. There's a few left here. There's some actually very good information in here about what the California Republican Assembly is all about with the president's message. Craig Huey is in here as well with valuable information. Sean Steele has great information here. Help yourself. There's a few left. And just want to mention that. Also, thank you, Leslie, for the snacks. And Arthur brought some. And Sandy Wilson-White and Claude. Anybody else bring any snacks? Thank you very much. It was very appreciated.